Hello and welcome to the World Happiness Foundation Fest. My name is Matthew Brownstein. I'm honored to be offering you this presentation on facilitating enlightenment, miracles as a return to love. I am the founder of the Institute of Interpersonal Hypnotherapy and some other organizations that you will hear about throughout this presentation, yet I'm starting with this credential so that you can know who I am and why I'm presenting here. I was fortunate enough to meet our dear Miguel Gallardo when he went through our school to become a certified hypnotherapist, certified clinical hypnotherapist, and certified transpersonal hypnotherapist. As I got to know him throughout the course of the training, I realized that our visions were wonderfully joined, that his mission to see 10 billion people happy by 2050 was so completely aligned with why I do what I do. I also learned about Lewis's wonderful background, including being a master NLP practitioner and trainer. And I welcome Lewis to come and join us at our Interpersonal NLP Society to actually teach NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, through our school. While I was getting to know Luis and his exceptional work in the world, I came across his idea of 10 billion people happy by 2050. I talked with Luis about what does that mean? Is everybody just walking around smiling? Is this some sort of toxic positivity? Or what do you mean by happy? We had a wonderful meeting and I said, okay, I get what you mean. It's totally aligned with what I am all about. It's not just people smiling, it's peace in the world. It's relieving poverty, it's relieving suffering, and helping people to be happy, healthy, and ideally wealthy. And I said, okay, I'm on board 100%, sign me up. I said, I will utilize the knowledge I have about the power of the mind to make things happen. And I had an artist I work with create this beautiful graphic. This is now on YouTube. It's a video that you can listen to, and I will actually play it at the end of this presentation. It's about 14 minutes long, and I will actually explain how this audio recording works throughout this presentation. That's just a little bit about what the presentation is about. One of my companies is called Silent Light Publishers, and I've published 5 of my own books through that: The Sutras on Healing and Enlightenment, The Anahat Meditation System, Interpersonal Hypnotherapy, subtitled Honoring the Sacred in Transformational Relationships, the other book, The Sacred Geometry of Meditation, and Peace Under All Circumstances. I'm deeply invested in world peace, as I hope all of you who are listening are. You can hear my audiobook of Peace Under All Circumstances for free on YouTube if you just put in Matthew Brownstein, Peace Under All Circumstances. My newest book is called Facilitating Enlightenment, Interpersonal Hypnotherapy as a Path of Self-Realization. That's what this talk is entitled. What I realized in my journey of awakening, personal and spiritual growth, and how that relates to global enlightenment, was that we all have to wake up to who we truly are. Humanity seems to be in this amnesia state of not knowing the really central truth of our being. If we all realize that we're all one being, for instance, when you think about the Buddha's enlightenment, the Buddha experienced a sense of oneness with all beings. When we think that we are separate, then we might attack each other. But when you realize we're all one self, then self only wants to help self. That's essentially the essence of this work, awakening to who we truly are, true self-realization. How do we facilitate that? We could wish for world happiness, yet that has to start with each individual, and individuals helping other individuals to wake up to the essential truths of who we really are. My company itself is called Anahat Education Group. Anahat is a word for the heart chakra, or the energy center of the heart, a place of the heart, a place rooted only in love. The title of this course, this lecture, Facilitating Enlightenment, relates to the subtitle, Miracles as a Return to Love. I am a Course in Miracles student and teacher, And essentially, that's what this is all about. Through forgiveness, a return to love. Our school, the Institute of Interpersonal Hypnotherapy, is founded on these principles. We also run the International Association of Interpersonal Hypnotherapists, and of course the Interpersonal NLP Society, where Luis now teaches NLP certifications with us. I also founded Online Monastery. You can check that out at onlinemonastery.com. I am a monk at heart. I have lived in various ashrams and monasteries and spiritual communities. I lived in the Himalayas, really going deep into how do we become free of suffering. You can see more of my work on that there. I also run the Illuminated Mind podcast to discuss these topics with guests. If you're interested, please reach out to me. With that said, so you know who is talking to you, let's talk about what is happiness. Because again, when I sat down with Luis to say, I want to support this, yet I need to know what you mean by that word. Is this really a possible goal? Can 10 billion be happy? And I said, let's break that down. And the words we basically came up with are peace. Let's, of course, work towards world peace when we say happy. Let's offer a return to love. Right? You can't be happy and not also experience the energy of love, joy, oneness, bliss. Of course, when we talk about healthy, happy, it's nice to be healthy too. So that's part of this vision that I'm encouraging you to open up to more and more. I hope you're open to it already. But what would it look like if everyone was happy? Hopefully, happy, healthy, thin, and wealthy. Maybe we're not all thin, but happy, healthy, thin, and wealthy. Successful in anything that we put our minds to, and that we are all self-actualized. Can that happen by 2050? When enough of us believe that it can, then we seriously increase the probability of it happening. So when I use the word happy in this recording I'll be playing for you, I am referring to these aspects of happiness as well. With that said, when I was in college, I had a profound spiritual awakening when I was 19 years old, and it really made me start questioning, why are we not all experiencing peace, love, joy, bliss, and oneness? During college, I came across, I was in a class called Social Problems. And once or twice a week, I forget, we would go in and sit down with the teacher who had introduced us to all the problems in the world. Here's basically that list. We have poverty, unemployment, inequality through race, gender, economics, crime and violence, substance abuse, homelessness, poor education systems, health care access and affordability, environmental issues, mental health crises, human trafficking, animal abuse, and of course is generally what we're doing to the planet, or environmental issues. Yet I started asking every time I went into this class, why is this what's happening on our planet? What is the one common denominator? And what I concluded, and take what you like, leave what you don't, because you might not agree with me, what is the problem? Is it the external world? Is it the planet we live on? Is it the world itself doesn't have enough resources? I don't believe the problem is actually the land and the water and the sky and the plants. It's not the earth itself which is causing this problem those problems that we're experiencing. Yet when I talk about the singular or the plural of a problem, right, we say there's problems, which I listed here, and that's probably not all the problems, right? But then what is the problem? What's the one common denominator? It's not the earth itself. So I do start looking at human beings in the midst of all of this. Is it our behaviors? Well, yes, some of our behaviors are absolutely not aligned with peace, love, joy, bliss, oneness, or just happiness. Why are we not living in a way that's happy? Why are our behaviors not matching that? Is it because of our body? Does your body just automatically make you do things that harm other people? It's not the body. If my hand forms a fist or my hands form prayer, it's my mind that motivated that. My body didn't make a fist by itself or a loving gesture by itself. Is it my emotion that motivated my behavior? Well, very much yes, right? If I'm angry, I might attack. If I'm scared, I might fight or flight, right? So yes, it's our emotions that tend to motivate our behaviors, but what motivates our emotions? Before we get to that, the next bullet point is relationships. It's just other people that cause us to be angry and upset. It might seem like it. However, in A Course in Miracles, it teaches you're never upset for the reason you think, and you're upset because you see something that's not there. You're essentially making up ideas in your mind, and you're only responding to the ideas in your mind, not necessarily to the external world or to the people in that world. So we could get down to what motivates behaviors and actions and so many of the problems we have. Essentially, the one common denominator I saw was the mind of the human being. And when we say mind, are we talking about just the brain or the heart, the conscious mind or the subconscious mind? If this person who appears sad on the screen has a broken heart and starts turning to drugs or alcohol or hurting other people in the attempt to feel better, that essential call for love is coming from a wounded heart, not necessarily just a disturbed mind. So, in A Course in Miracles, it teaches a universal theology is impossible, but a universal experience is not only possible but necessary. What is this universal experience? Well, I would suggest it's when any of us, but ideally all of us, experience peace, love, joy, oneness, bliss. When our hearts and minds are truly healed. We'll never have a universal religion, but when all of us have a universal experience that we're all one being, it really does change the way we live. When I woke up spiritually at 19 years old, I went from things being separate and essentially just, I want to say kind of dark, in the sense that it wasn't that life was love, light, peace, joy, bliss, but in an instant I had experienced that oneness consciousness, and I realized we are all one being. I almost instantly became vegetarian at that time because I realized I'm one with animals, I'm one with this planet. When we all experience this collective awakening to who we really are, we can truly see the changes we're looking for, because essentially the teaching here in A Course in Miracles, rooted in a return to love, is rooted in forgiveness. And where does forgiveness need to occur? Really just in the heart and mind of each human being. A Course in Miracles teaches there's one problem and one solution. It doesn't say the one problem is humanity. It says the one problem is the apparent feeling of separation that each of us hold within our minds. When the Buddha was enlightened, they said, "What happened to you?" And he said, "I just woke up." And what did he wake up to? His quest was asking, why are we suffering and how do we stop suffering? And what the Buddha realized was that this feeling of separation that comes about from the separate, false sense of self is the problem. So the problem is within humanity, and the problem is in our minds. And the problem is this ego mind that makes us feel separate from everything else. A Course in Miracles teaches this one universal experience that we all need to have is the experience of oneness. That is the solution. The problem is simply feeling separate from universe, from others, from reality. Yet, how can you be separate from the universe? How can you be separate from reality? You can't escape the universe or reality, right? But we do feel separate. That is an apparent separation. When you look at the image here of Buddha meditating, this isn't the historical Bo tree, but it's a beautiful image. When you think about Buddha meditating under a tree, there's a deep sense of emptiness. And empty of what? Empty of a false self. Empty of that which creates or makes an apparent division, but only within the mind. So resolving that one problem within humanity is essentially what's going on. How do we shift the mind to make that happen? Miracles are mental shifts. A miracle is not just walking on water or touching someone and healing them. According to A Course in Miracles, miracles are shifts in the mind. They are rooted in forgiveness, and they shift us from fear to love, from ego to spirit, from illusion to truth, from separation to oneness. If there's only one problem and only one solution, I warmly hopefully lovingly invite you to really explore, are you part of the problem or the solution? Are you working towards enlightenment for yourself and others? Are you working towards oneness consciousness? And are you really addressing the problem where it resides? Where does the shift in mind need to occur? Is it just up here in the conscious mind, which is the tip of the iceberg? Or is it down here in the subconscious mind, the mass of the iceberg? I would suggest the shift needs to occur in the subconscious, and that's why I and many others have dedicated our lives to the field of hypnotherapy and related modalities such as neuro-linguistic programming. With hypnosis, we can access the heart, the subconscious mind. Here's a good concept to consider here. The heart is the root of the mind. Whatever this feels, this talks about. Whatever your heart feels, your mind talks about. If you're angry, you start using your problem-solving intelligence to think about what are you going to do to make the anger stop, or that which you think is causing the anger to make that stop. But when the heart is at peace, the mind is at peace. When the heart is filled with love, we're generally just happy. When you feel bliss inside of you, you feel content and fulfilled from within. The shifts that we need to make so that the one problem can be solved, they need to occur at the subconscious level. What's in the subconscious? Essentially, it's not only this, but it's the repository of our memories, our beliefs, and our emotions. That's what motivates our dysfunctional behaviors. If you hurt someone, you might do that out of anger. But why are you angry? Your thoughts create your emotions, and those are your belief systems. I'm powerless, I'm trapped, I'm helpless, I've been betrayed and victimized. Those thoughts create behaviors, create emotions, which create behaviors. But where did those beliefs, emotions, and behaviors come from? Our past memories, essentially, largely our childhood memories. That's all stored in the subconscious. If we don't collectively address that problem, we're going to continue seeing problems because we didn't address the one problem, which is a shift that must occur in the mind. Again, a universal theology is impossible. We'll never all agree about the certain right behavior and religion and what we do externally. But once we all shift to enlightenment, to self-realization, to oneness consciousness, we truly can see 10 billion happy by 2050. It's just the change has to occur in the subconscious, emotional heart mind. So what is facilitation? The word really, I believe, in probably the Greek or Latin or whatnot, comes from the idea of facile, which is to make easy, but to facilitate can sometimes be challenging, but the idea is mental shifts that are not hard to make. How hard is it to return to love? It's actually remarkably easy. How hard is it to turn towards the sun when you've been buried your head in the sand for decades? All you have to do is literally say, I don't want to do that anymore. A Course in Miracles says basically, do only that. Do only one thing. Turn towards love, turn towards light, turn towards peace. However, the closer we get to the light, the more we see our shadow. There's a book I recommend in our school's training called The Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford. And essentially, of course, we all need to return to happiness and love. Yet why can't we do that? A Course in Miracles speaks of blocks to the awareness of love's presence. Love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. However, there are blocks to it. Where are those blocks? They're not in the external world. They're not in your behaviors. They're not in your relationships. They're in your heart and your mind. But it's very hard to help to heal yourself sometimes. So I call our work interpersonal hypnotherapy because miracles in A Course in Miracles always are interpersonal. They always involve relationships. A Course in Miracles teaches if you're not joyful, you have somehow done something in your mind in relationship to another person. You made decisions to not be happy. Again, that's all happening inside of us. What I've created through the Institute of Interpersonal Hypnotherapy and our related branches is a way that we can all help to facilitate each other's healing and enlightenment. I call our school a path of healing and enlightenment. So facilitation to me means that well-trained professional, ethical practitioners can sit down with others and help to transform the real root of the problem. You can use hypnosis for many different things, hypnotherapy for many different things. Yet what I've really come to focus on is utilizing this altered state called hypnosis as a path of healing and enlightenment, so that every session when you work with one of our graduates, or if you're doing this kind of work, even if you're helping the client just to shift a behavior, you're moving towards enlightenment. Even if you're helping a client to lose weight, you're still moving towards enlightenment. We teach in our school Connie Ray Andreas's core transformation process. And core transformation essentially guides people to what's called the core state. That is an experience of peace, love, joy, bliss, oneness. They'll use different words when they are there, when the client is there. Yet when they are there, it's the same universal experience we're all looking for. That, to me, is what this level of facilitation is. And what is enlightenment? Well, in Zen, we usually just won't say, right? However, if we were going to give some words for what happened to Buddha under the Bo tree, awakening to who we truly are, meaning the essential inherent goodness is there. So enlightenment is simply self-realization, knowing who you really are. And all you have to do is remove that which you're not. And what is that which you're not? Just the false ideas in the mind that can drop away. When the veils clear, when the dark side of the light chasers clears, when the blocks clear, what's left is your Buddha nature, as said in Buddhism. So enlightenment is simply waking up to who you truly are, and my experience has been that's the solution. It's what Buddha figured out under the Bo tree 2,500 years ago, when he said we have to be able to relieve suffering somehow. How can we do that? What's the one problem? And enlightenment was absolutely the one solution. Again, the problem is the egoic, individual, separate self. My dear mentor who helped me to found our school, Mr. Gil Boyne, called hypnotherapy a therapy for the people. I'm so grateful for our licensed mental health practitioners, LMHCs, social workers, marriage family therapists. We need that. Hypnotherapy is a therapy for the people. It's a way that anybody with a reasonable amount of training, not necessarily 7 to 10 years at university, but usually within about 1 year, our school is 500 plus hours of training, but you can get through all of that within a year and have a new career helping other people, not necessarily working with diagnosed psychiatric conditions. Like I said, there's licensed practitioners for that. Yet hypnotherapy is where we all empower ourselves with techniques to help to transform the world. With that said, here's a brief overview of the creating and manifesting formula that I'm about to play for you and how and why it works. As you can see, I'm looking at the time here. I'm trying to keep this short as possible, but let's take a brief review of the creating and manifesting formula. When you want to make something happen, in this case 10 billion people happy by 2050, we have to have clarity of intent. We have to know what we want. And I hope this presentation has laid out what I feel that Luis is working to accomplish. 10 billion happy. What does that mean? Peace, love, joy, oneness, bliss within ourselves, but also, of course, relieving poverty and everything else we'd like to see. Okay, so get clear on what you want. What does it mean for you to see the whole world happy? Number 2 is universal law. The recording will review that briefly. Essentially, it just says things like the law of pure potential says that when you tap into the essence of your being, you tap into an underlying power that can manifest anything. Understanding universal law says there are ways the universe works that do allow for us to have what we want. And if we all want global happiness and peace, we can have it when we align our minds with universal law. Step 3 is deep meditation. The more you go into the essence of your being, the core of your being, the pure consciousness at the essence of you, you are exceptionally more powerful. If you're in just your conscious mind or your subconscious, your thoughts are influential. But in deep meditation, your thoughts are exceptionally more influential. Number 4 is visualization, to see what you want to see happen. So what would it look like if 10 billion people were happy? I encourage you to start opening to what would that inner image be like. You want to see it as if it's already so. Don't just see us becoming happy, because that's what you're manifesting, a continual becoming. See it as if it's already so. What would that look like for you? Number 5, powerful, positive emotion. When you want something and you really want it, the motivation is enough to make it happen. In A Course in Miracles, it says, all you have to do is create motivation. The person will do the rest. So feel excited about global happiness. Feel joyful that we are all moving towards this. But again, see it as if it's already so. We are all there. You're already healed. The world is already healed. I know it's not yet. That's why we have this goal by 2050. But start to see the end result. We're not building a house in the visualization. We're seeing the house already built. We're seeing the final product is already accomplished. And number 6, suggestion, the power of your thoughts to actually affirm in your mind. By 2050, 10 billion people are happy. Number 7 is belief. You affirm in your mind, I totally believe this is possible. If you don't believe it, then it's pretty hard to manifest anything. So you just affirm in your mind, I totally believe every human being can be happy by 2050. Number 8, desire. I want this. In the beautiful book Conversations with God, with Neil Donald Walsh, that higher, wiser mind, calling itself God, said, if all of you wanted to be happy, you'd be happy. If all of you wanted to be done with sickness, you would be. The problem is not all of you want it. So number 8 is affirming, I want this. I want 10 billion happy by 2050. In my lifetime, I want that. Number 9, acceptance. Are you willing to accept this and all of the responsibility that goes with it? Sometimes we don't want to accept bringing something into our life and we will sabotage it. So here we affirm, I'm fully willing to accept this. 10, expectation. What we expect tends to be realized. I expect this is going to happen. I know it is happening. It is inevitable. This recording will help to convince your mind that it is happening. When you believe it, want it, are willing to accept it, and you expect it's going to happen, you align your mind to significantly increase the probability of it happening. Yes, this is metaphysical, but it's also just very practical psychology, right? Like what has to happen in the mind to make something happen? And with a critical mass, when enough of us are thinking this way, this can happen. Number 11 is commitment. Are you committed to this vision? Do you do what you need to do to succeed? The meditation will help you to affirm, yes, I'm willing to do what I need to do to make this happen. My actions will match my highest intentions. And step 12 is to surrender and let it go, not to stress over it, not to ruminate on it all throughout the day. Just go through this brief meditation. Even if you only do it once, you have aligned your mind with hopefully tens of thousands of others who are also saying by 2050, 10 billion are happy. With that said, I invite you to enjoy this meditation. You can close your eyes if you like. That's it for me. When the recording here is over, then it will just stop. But I hope you thoroughly enjoy this meditation and that you will share it with your friends. It's available on YouTube. Share it on social media. Whatever you do, let's get the word out there, because honestly, if hundreds of thousands of people listen to this recording, we can all manifest 10 billion happy by 2050. And I want to thank Miguel Gallardo for doing such beautiful work in this world. And with that said, let's enjoy this meditation together. Welcome. My name is Matthew Brownstein. I'm the founder and lead instructor of the Institute of Interpersonal Hypnotherapy, and I'm honored to be working in collaboration with Miguel Gallardo, founder and president of the World Happiness Foundation. Lewis's vision is to realize a world of freedom, consciousness, and happiness for all people, and to have 10 billion happy people by 2050. This is one of those very bold visions, yet I invite you to be a part of it because why not? I personally have worked with a creating and manifesting formula for many decades now. There are 12 steps in this formula, And when you align your mind with these 12 steps, whatever you're visualizing inevitably is going to happen. We need a critical mass of people who will be feeling, thinking, and imagining this vision. So I invite you to go on this short meditation with me now, and then if you like it, to share it with others, so that by 2050, 10 billion people are happy in a world of freedom, consciousness, and peace. To begin, you can close your eyes and get comfortable. We'll simply start with clarity of intent, which is step number 1. The clarity of intent is very simple. You are part of a mission to manifest 10 billion happy people by 2050, a world that is based on compassion and benevolence, a world rooted in social connection, harmony, balance, and peace, a world where we are all interconnected through interfaith dialogues, through micro communities, and a deep connection to the divine, bringing opportunity and optimism for all. Next, we align with universal law. So with your eyes closed, step 2 is simply to review universal law, giving credit to Dr. Deepak Chopra, who outlined 7 spiritual laws of success. The first law is the law of pure potentiality. When you go into a deep meditative state, you align with an infinite organizing power that can manifest anything. So just start to relax and go deeper within. Next, the law of intention and desire, which states that if you intend to manifest something and you want to, the universe has a way to make it happen. And the law of least effort. True creating and manifesting happens with effortless ease. So just relax into the meditation of helping everyone to be happy and healthy. And open to what's called the law of giving and receiving. Whatever you want, give it away. So you'll find your own unique way to make this world a better place. The law of cause and effect. Remember, whatever you send out comes back to you. By sending out happiness for others, it inevitably comes back to you. The law of purpose in life. You have a unique mission and part to play in helping everyone to be happy and healthy. Therefore, I invite you to start to open up to what do you contribute to this world to make it a better place. Remember the law of non-attachment. Simply release attachment to the outcome. Do this in a space of surrender and ease, trusting that the universe takes care of the details. With a clear intention and your mind aligned with universal law, step 3 is deep meditation. I invite you, if you haven't already, to close your eyes, to just relax. Let this be simple and easy. Let your body relax as you bring your attention into the present moment. All of your power to create is here now. Simply release the past. And for now, let go of the future. Just be here now. And start to direct your attention inwards. Relaxing your body. Relaxing your breathing. Relaxing your heart and your emotions. Relaxing your mind, and start to find your own awareness. Be aware that you're aware. Some people call that the I am presence. Just be aware that you're aware. I am. This is the place within you of pure potential. Aware that you're aware. Find the peace of your own consciousness, the very essence, the stillness at the core of your being. It's universal. Anyone can find the peace of the present moment. the pure potentiality of their own being. Find your own way to meditate. Do what you do that helps you to tap in to the essence of your being. And if you need more time to relax, you can press pause. When you feel centered and aligned, please continue in this vision. Step 4 is to visualize this, to start to see everyone on the planet as happy. Start to imagine circles of people sharing in hugs and handshake circles, circles of people singing and dancing in harmony. Find your own way to imagine every human being, including all plants and animals, our entire planet, happy. Now, what does happy mean? Some people might be sitting there at peace, watching others being happy. See beautiful interfaith dialogues where we ask, how do we connect to the divine? What is the one technique that helps us to connect and be happy? See people being of service to others in the spirit of commonality, where we treat others the way we want to be treated. Union and diversity. See micro-communities connecting to the divine in harmony, balance, and peace. Start to see opportunity and optimism. Imagine happiness as a fundamental state of peace, freedom, consciousness, harmony, and balance for all. Now, as you're practicing visualizing this, see it as if it's already so. See it as if it's already so. It is 2050 and everyone is happy. See everyone involved in the image, which is everyone. And see everyone happy and made better off. Next, step 5 is to emotionalize this. Start to feel how good it feels to see this image. Trust your own joy. Follow your own bliss. When it feels good, nurture the image that feels good. See everyone happy and let yourself be happy. Take responsibility for your part in this. Visualize people happy and be one of those people. See it, feel it. And step 6 is simply to suggest it in your mind using the power of your thoughts. By 2050, 10 billion people are happy. Simply repeat it in your mind. 10 billion happy by 2050. It's simple. It's easy. 10 billion happy by 2050. Simply see, feel, and think about a world of freedom, consciousness, and happiness for all. While you're doing that, I'll take you through the latter part of this formula. Step 7 is belief. Simply repeat in your mind now. I totally believe this is possible. I totally believe that this is possible. I totally believe that this is possible. Step 8 is desire. Simply repeat in your mind. I want this. I want this. I really do want this. Step 9 is acceptance. Simply repeat in your mind. I am willing to accept this vision and all of the responsibility that goes with it. I am fully willing to accept this vision and all of the responsibility that goes with it. I am willing to accept this vision and all of the responsibility that goes with it. Step 10 is expectation. Simply repeat in your mind. I totally expect this. I know this is happening. It is inevitable. I expect this. I know this is happening. It is inevitable. I expect this. I know this is happening. It is inevitable. Step 11 is commitment. Repeating in your mind, I am fully committed to this vision, and I do what I need to do to make it happen. I am fully committed to this vision, and I do what I need to do to allow 10 billion to be happy by 2050. I am committed to this vision. I do what I need to do to make it a reality. And step 12 is simply to surrender it and to let it go. Let your thoughts float out like balloons or bubbles out into the universe. Imagine your thoughts going into the minds of every other person, so everybody simply gets this message. Once enough of us think this way, a critical mass causes a major response. Simply have an internal smile right now as you let this go. Trust the universe to take care of the details. There is no order of difficulty in miraculous change. One miracle isn't harder to produce than another. Helping one person to transform is just as easy to help 10 billion to transform. Let that change start with you by just being the change that you want to see in this world. You've heard that before, I'm sure, so just be the change you want to see in this world, and then in this moment, you have just created 10 billion happy people by being one of those people. Thank you for joining me in this meditation to help you to transition to your full and regular waking consciousness to continue with your day. I'll simply count from 1 to 5. When I get to 5, you can allow your eyes to open, continuing with your day. And if you'd like to repeat this meditation, you can do so on a regular basis because it can only benefit you and only improve your life and the lives of others in every way. Number 1, bringing yourself back more and more to this present moment. 2, remembering to do your part in the bigger picture here. 3, let that inner smile go with you as you continue with your day as part of the solution on 1, 2, 3, 4 with a nice smile on your face. 1, 2, 3, 4 when you're ready and only when you're ready. And number 5, let your eyes open back right here now, wide awake and refreshed and back to your full and regular waking consciousness as a very important part of the solution to have 10 billion happy by 2050.